So in part one of the videos, I showed you how to flash the Panther LEDs with this sketch here. So let's go ahead and we have it, open it up if you don't already have it open. And let's do a file, and let's do save as. And this time let's call it Panther Trigger LEDs. We'll just save that. Okay. So what we're going to do now is just use the trigger pins on the Panther and trigger our LEDs on and off. So we have 4 triggers. We'll go ahead and define all 4 of those triggers. Define trigger 1, which is analog 2. We'll copy and paste that for 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So we'll change this to trigger 2, trigger 3, and trigger 4. Okay, we'll change these to A3, A4, and A5, because on the trigger Panther, on the trigger pin, header pin, trigger 1 is analog 2, trigger 2 is analog 3, trigger 3 is analog 4, and trigger 4 is analog 5. So now we need to find those as input. So we'll say here we'll do a trigger 1, and that is an input. We'll do the same thing for all 4 trigger pins. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are all inputs. Okay, so now I want to create a method down here to actually read the header pins to the trigger. So we're going to call it, it's going to return an integer. Let's call it read triggers, RVAD triggers. Okay. So there's our method, and inside here we're going to do if parentheses digital read, this time DIGITAL read, and this time because we're reading it, we only have to specify the pin we want to read. So it's trigger 1, and we want to say if that is equal to a low value, then we want to return 1. Let's copy that, and we'll say if trigger 2 is low, return 2. And paste it again and say if trigger 3 is low, return 3. And if trigger 4 if trigger 4 is low, return 4. And if it falls all the way through, we're going to return 0. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to call our read trigger method. And it's going to return a value, so of type integer, as we defined it here as type integer. So we're going to say integer int val equals read triggers. Open and close. Okay. Now we can test val, so we can say if val equals 1, then we'll do a digital write and set the stop pin to high. Else, if val equals a 2, then we can set the stop pin to low. Else, if val equals 3, then we will set the status pin to high. Else, if val equals a 4, then we can do a digital write and set the status pin low. We don't need any delays for that. Okay, so what will happen is, like, it'll read our triggers and it's going to return either 1, 2, 3, or 4, or a 0. And if it's 1, we'll set the status high or stop high. If it's 2, stop low. If it's 3, status high. If it's 4, status low. So let's go ahead and compile it just to verify it. Done compiling, it's correct. Okay, so now we can upload it using the programmer. Once it's through uploading, it starts running it immediately. Don't worry about the warning you may get down here. So even though it's running immediately, so let's go ahead and hook up a jumper wire, and we'll turn on our LEDs on and off. Okay, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. Right, but it doesn't look like it's coming into focus. I'm just going to move it back a little bit here. Okay, so I'm just going to touch. I have my jumper wire, and I'm going to touch it on the various pins. The first thing I'm going to do is touch it on pin 1, and then you can see the red LED comes on. If I touch it on pin 3, the green LED comes on. Touch it on pin 2, the red LED goes off, and if I touch it on pin 4, the green LED goes off. So I can bring any one of them on just by touching them, and turn them off just by touching them. So it lets me know that the sequence was working correctly. Okay, so that concludes this video on triggering the LEDs on the Panther. If you like the video, like it please, and I will work on creating additional videos and things you can do with the Panther. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.